This is another episode of Dirty Rotten Reactions and Podcast. You know this is your one-stop shop for racism, homophobia, misogyny, and anti-Semitism. Today, it's all about the misogyny, dog. You know I try to educate and support the bros on this channel, especially when it comes to women and dating in this modern-day era. And if there is ever any good source of education that I've actually come across, it's with this dude right here, Orion Taraban. His YouTube channel is called Psychax. If you haven't heard of him, check him out. He's about to help us understand what women really want. But I already know that. It's the whole world and everything in it. But let's get into it. You lost your balls. You lost the church. You lost your women. You lost your fucking country. We are way past the point to where voting is going to bring this country back. If white people has done anything wrong, it's being too fucking nice. The only thing that's going to save this fucking country is all-out revolution. The men in this country are going to have to grow their fucking balls back. Put their wives in the kitchen where they fucking belong. We have a revolution to fight. We got to show up in numbers. Bullshit. Black people obviously don't like white people. You pay taxes and you fucking vote. That's how they know they fucking got you. This is why I keep saying bring back segregation.
What happened in this study? Basically, the researchers started by asking about 100 guys to rate a whole bunch of women in terms of their attractiveness, their face, their body, and their overall appearance. And the women invited to participate in the study were the ones that the men rated most highly. The researchers then sent these really involved surveys to the women deemed most attractive by the men, and the surveys functionally asked in 100 different ways, ladies, what do you want? Do you want a handsome man? Do you want a rich man? Do you want a family man? Do you want an emotionally available man? Do you want a committed man? What do you want? And how did the women respond? The women basically responded with a single word, yes. It turns out that attractive women wanted every single thing on the list. And this was surprising to the researchers. The women looked at all of these qualities and attributes and collectively said, yeah, sounds good, I'll take it. It's a fascinating study because I think it's very honest, but here's the really interesting part. While the women apparently wanted it all, they didn't want everything equally. The women expressed a positive desire for all the attributes across like 24 different categories. However, some preferences were much stronger than others. And according to the study, the 3 categories that the women cared the least about, do you know what they were? You're gonna love this. That he be intelligent, that he be loyal, and that he be kind and understanding. The women would prefer to have those things than not, but those 3 things actually weren't even statistically significant, according to the researchers' analyses. Intelligence, loyalty, and kindness. Of the nearly 24 things that attracted women want in a man, these were apparently the 3 attributes they could most readily dispense with. So, what's the upshot? If you're taking the study at face value, it means men. If you want to be a viable option for very attractive women, you need to listen to what these women actually value. If you're putting a lot of energy into your intelligence, your loyalty, and your kindness, especially if doing so detracts from other higher value attributes like being physically fit, earning a lot of money, providing a house, etc., you're probably not gonna be picked for dodgeball.
So yeah, basically, if we have learned anything from the sort of studies that he's actually citing here, is that women have actually become very unreasonably selective. I do believe that one of the reasons that actually causes this is because when women first come into their adult years, at the height of their sexual market value, which is typically 18 to 25, you might could say 18 to 30, when they're at their most beautiful, right? Because from a man's perspective, that's what we really want in a woman the most, right, is to be beautiful. When women are in this age range and they are at the height of this sexual market value, they can potentially have it all, or at least a lot of options, right? They get a lot of men that simp to them, they get a lot of free passes in life, people are willing to do things for them, give them money, take them on expensive dinner dates. But I do believe where a lot of women go wrong is they waste this time during this age range throughout the height of their sexual market value by taking advantage of as many opportunities as possible, which ends up resulting in sleeping with a lot of men, doing a lot of partying, going out, having fun, and this tends to result in a lot of trauma and the accumulation of baggage. You end up having children out of wedlock, or you get married, then get divorced. Then by the time you realize your sexual market value is declining, they also realize that their options rates are declining. Conveniently enough, this typically ends up being when most women want to finally settle down, right? And who do they settle for? They end up settling for a softer man, typically that she can dominate over. Because men with a lot of value, who have a lot of respect for themselves and they know that they have a lot of sexual options, they typically don't settle for women with children, women with promiscuous pasts, women who are prone to going out and partying and have already been ran through by God knows who. So the women find themselves not being able to get these types of men anymore. So rather than going for the most attractive and successful, they end up going after somebody that can offer them a certain level of security, but he himself usually doesn't have a lot of sexual market value. So he basically takes what he can get. And what he can get are these women that come with baggage, come with trauma, come with children, come with promiscuous pasts. And because these men are typically not the type of men that respect themselves a whole lot, the women also identify that they have the power dynamic in this relationship, therefore never truly respecting this man. And to be honest with you, this is what most relationships are, I believe, this day and age. And I genuinely believe, as a man, dude, I know I wouldn't want to find myself in this type of relationship. There's no way. I would prefer to stay single myself, and I would not advise any other man to engage in this type of relationship. So therefore, your best options really to improve your options on the dating market is to simply work on yourself the best that you can. Increase your own sexual market value. You know, hit the gym, get your money up, take care of yourself, if that's what you're looking for. I mean, many people in general, but I know for sure many men have just decided to basically exit out of the dating market. And I mean, I don't blame them. I mean, your options nowadays are basically ex-whores and domineering alpha females. Honestly, my best advice for any man who's actually looking for a woman to be in a relationship with, dude, I think genuinely the best advice is that you have to date down. You have to date down in sexual market value. Let's say, for instance, if you use the scale from 1 to 10, and let's say, you know, as a man, you're a 6. If you actually want to have the lead position in that relationship and have a woman that actually loves you and will submit to you and wants to serve you, you're going to have to date like a 4 or a 5. Now, here's the thing. If you're not comfortable dating a 4 or a 5, because maybe you're not physically attracted to her enough, then the only option that you really have is to work on yourself to make yourself a 7 or an 8. And honestly, a lot of men can actually do this if they actually put forth the work. I'm not going to say that it's always super easy, but there are some simple steps that you can take. Like, you have to go for that promotion at your job, or you have to go get a better job, go to a trade school, something to where you can start generating a higher amount of income. That increases your sexual market value as a man. Start hitting the gym. Stop eating like shit. If you're fat, lose weight. If you're skinny as fuck, put on some muscle. Dress better. Take better care of yourself. Take some pride in yourself and actually know your value and know your worth. So look, y'all, I appreciate y'all watching this video. If you like this kind of content, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, drop a comment, tell me what you think, and I will continue to bring you plenty more. I appreciate your support. God bless you.